out there on the internet. Welcome to episode number 103 of the Geeks with Wives and Capes. I am your intrepid. I want to throw in a bunch of other really cool words in there, but I forgot my thesaurus slash host. Dart Sparrow, welcome. As always, I'm excited to be here with tonight. I'm joined by only one co-host this evening. I don't know where everybody else is. Who knows what they're doing? That's right. We're going to have fun anyways, right, Casey? Can't even
We're going to try. Ashley can hear me. I'm still mad at her right now. Where is this girl?
that is my right hand man, the one and only Mr. Casey Walsh. How you doing today, buddy? Besides being red with anger right now.
I'm going good. I'm getting extra angry too because my daughter is now officially making more money than I am.
Yeah.
And she's 3 years old. So
yeah.
I mean, she's 4. To be fair, she's 4 years old. So
right.
I have to deal with that.
That adds a lot. That adds a lot of that gives a little extra not so much angriness, right?
No, it makes me.
Market? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, she's courting the modeling market, so it's a lot of it's a lot of Coke and peanut butter and Crest soft peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I know.
Keep her
I know, man. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me tell you.
Hey, just feel, just be happy to know that, in like maybe another year, you can retire and, just live off of your daughter's modeling money.
That'd be so nice.
You could read comics all day if you want, man.
Yeah, my daughter's gonna fund Geeks with Wives.
Yes. She's gonna take us to the next level.
Come on, Harlow, let's do this.
Let's do this. Cool, man. Other than that, how you been?
Oh, same old shit, different day. Just trying to keep the ball rolling, trying to get the comic news and goodies out to everybody out there, and hopefully we're doing a good job. Got some great stuff on the site, so
yes.
Make sure you guys are checking that out. That's always fun. Other than that, just trying to stay alive, pretty much.
Oh, it's hard to do around here, man. Well, I'm glad you're still alive, and I'm glad you're here with me.
There's a lot of roaming Yetis where I live. Just roaming.
That's just make sure they don't come my way. Make sure they go the other way, since I live down the street from you.
Yeah, they don't go across the tracks. But
there you go.
Yeah, other than the Yetis and the rich daughter, just
yes, trying
to survive, man. Just trying to make it out there in that crazy world.
Tough life, Yetis and rich daughters. Well, and tonight we'd like to say around here at Geek with Wives and Capes that it takes a special kind of tortured soul to agree to come back, not once but a second time, to our illustrious show. And we have one such tortured soul this evening. We are excited to have once again Mr. Greg Wright. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing pretty good. You probably hear a little frog in my throat here. I'm hoping to not get too emotional about anything. I've got a little bit of a summer cold here, but I'm excited here, and I'm looking forward to a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You were really pulling for that Fantastic Four movie and just can't deal with the disappointment, huh, Greg?
Oh yeah, man. Ooh. I feel like I need to take a shower just because you said it out loud. So.
Ooh, that's like Wilson Fisk. You don't say his name.
Yeah.
You don't say Mr. Fisk. What's with that, man? It's terrible. Well, Greg, we're excited to have you back, man. So, since last we talked to you, what have you been up to, man? What new exciting stuff have you been working on?
Well, I'm pretty excited to say that Wild Bullets came out, and
yes.
I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
Heck yeah!
Yeah, I'm going to try to. I don't think this is probably going to work, but I'm going to try. It basically is a lot of different styles, and as you can see, that when the different characters take over telling the story, a different artist takes over and does it in a different genre. It's about the Bullet family, who all grew up to become different kinds of pulp adventurers. Right. One's a mad scientist, one's a monster hunter, one's a detective, one's an archaeologist, and they don't normally get along together, but they go to their parents' house and make nice for Thanksgiving, and it happens at Thanksgivings. They uncover a murder, and so
your book is like a dysfunctional family holiday mixed with a murder mystery, which makes for a really awesome book. Love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, just like Mom used to make, right? So.
Exactly. That was Thanksgiving here last year for me.
Right,
it's like Christmas Vacation with Swiss. No, damn it! I had a much better joke here. God damn it! It's like hold on, I got this.
Give a minute.
It's like Christmas Vacation with the Addams Family.
Yeah.
No, I can come up with something better. Give me 10 minutes. Come back to me.
Okay.
We're coming back. So Greg, let's maybe for those listeners that didn't catch the last time we had you on, so obviously, family adventures, meeting up, coming back together for a holiday, solve a murder. Great story. What made you decide to go into almost different genres with each character as they're taking over the story?
Well, I had this idea a long time ago that, wouldn't it be cool if, like, there was a shared universe for all these different genres? You read old pulp westerns or pulp hard-boiled noirs type stuff, or, the Flash Gordon type science fiction and stuff.
Right.
And wouldn't it be cool if all of those came together? And I thought, well, one way that you could do that is if they were all part of a family and they took turns telling it. So it's mostly just an excuse to have this fast-paced, goofy kind of throwback fun to the pulps, which really kind of predate comics, but have a huge influence on comics. So it's kind of kicking it old school, which I think actually, 1999 says called up and said, don't say kicking it old school, but I didn't get the memo on my fax machine.
Hey, that's all right, man. You do you.
Right.
It's good stuff, man. It's almost the different styles almost kind of to me in a way almost feel like it's each character's like inner monologue, how they kind of view the world or whatever. It's when you're a kid playing pretend, whatever, getting on those crazy adventures, you all have your own inner monologue, what your story sounds like in your head, and that kind of lends itself to your book and kind of the way each character looks at what's happening, at the current time and their surroundings. And
everybody I think sees themselves as the main character in their story, and I think one of the things that's cool about this is that then it can sort of show that all these characters think they're the main character, and all their siblings and family members are secondary characters, and so you kind of see it from all these different angles spliced up and in a different light.
Right. Greg, tell us about the different artists, different artists that have worked on the book and their different styles, and how you all met and came together on this cool project.
We all met through the Michigan Comics Collective, which is the publisher of Wild Bullets. It's their first standalone one-shot. They had put together one anthology before. They're going to put out another anthology by the end of this year, and in October there's going to be a horror anthology called 13 Little Hells that I've got a piece in. And so I
wait, 13? I was terrified with just the one. You got 13 hells going on? I don't know if I can handle that.
And there's little too, so it's like bite-sized hell,
little tiny hells, Casey, the kind you can eat in one sitting. It's okay.
Right, yeah, fun-size hells, if you will. So, I've got a piece in that with Joe Frere, who worked on Wild Bullets, and our piece is called The Cubicle of the Demon God, about white-collar workers who wind up having to prevent a demon apocalypse, even though they're sort of slacker, stoner types, sort of like Shaun of the Dead and Evil Dead mixed together with something like Fight Club with this sort of white-collar angst. And the only reason that they escaped the demon brainwashing is that they were out in the woods during the corporate retreat, smoking dope and talking about Phil Collins' Invisible Touch. So,
nice. Whoa, smoking dope? we don't roll that way on this podcast, Greg.
I'm not advocating it. These are characters that I know.
You should be advocating it. That's what I'm trying to say. Everyone, if you smoke dope, this podcast gets much better. I promise.
Yeah. And everybody right now do a shot as well.
Yes.
Every time I say bullets, you got to do another shot. And
this is good. I'm empty, man. This is not good.
So Joe Frere does the horror section in Wild Bullets. Steve Shar does the science fiction section, which has this kind of retro-futuristic feel. Yeah. And Jason Jimenez does Kelly Bullett's section, which is like an archaeologist who's kind of like Tomb Raider, Indiana Jones sort of thing. And Sean Siegel does the hard-boiled crime noir section. And lettered and colored by Sarah Soules, who did the whole thing and gives it a kind of uniform look, even despite the different styles that we've got in here.
Yeah.
Here's a blurry image.
I'd say a reviewer, that handsome devil, the guy that reviewed your book for our site, he's a handsome man, I tell you what. I met him once in person. I just couldn't. He's struck by his
He's
eyes.
so modest too. He's a modest fellow.
Oh, not when I met him. He was an asshole. But he really loved the noir style like that. I just, oh man, every time I open your book and see that noir kind of style, the chalk outlines, like that's just so like artistic and beautiful to me, and it's so simple and there's, get me wrong, it's been a while since I picked it up, but there's like drops of color in there, kind of a la Schindler's List, if you will, and it's just so striking, and I really enjoyed that part of the book, and I also love the space stuff, just because I'm a crazy sci-fi. I mean, he's a crazy sci-fi person.
Right. Yeah, the book turned out gorgeous. I feel like I've been part of a number of, anthologies, or I've seen a lot of independent stuff, and sometimes it's like, oh, this is going great, and then there's a page where it's like, oh, that's, kind of misses the mark or whatever. But I feel like there's nothing to apologize for in this book. I'm really pleased with how it turned out and the look of it, and that each one has its own style and personality, and keeps people going. So yeah, pretty excited about it, and I'm excited about the things that whoever he may be, said.
He's handsome, whoever he is.
He's handsome.
Damn handsome fella there.
No bags over his head.
Nope. So Greg, talk to us a little bit. So the books come out now, and I don't think most people really know what it takes, especially to release an indie comic. Talk to us a little bit about that process of how it goes from just an idea to where it's at now. Is this something like you went through it and you're like, God, I don't know if I can do this again, or now that you've done it, you're like, all right, let's do this some more.
From the email I got when Greg asked to come back on, I really got the impression like he couldn't do this again. I'm really hoping for an elaborate fuck you, comic book industry.
Yes.
I'm Kevin Smith in this bitch, and I'm out.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I got a tattoo on my chest. It just said "resigned to failure." That's what I. No, but I'm really excited about it, and it was initially going to be a joke that at the end it says "The end of Wild Bullet's Thanksgiving. The Bullet family will return in Wild Bullet's Christmas," like kind of James Bond sting at the end.
Yes.
And now it's like, they're like, "When are you going to write that script?" I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to," and it's just a matter of finding the time. But I actually had the idea for Wild Bullets about a year ago, so it took about 9 months to make it happen in terms of outlining it, pitching it to the different artists, getting them on board, and then they started really creating hardcore in about January. So they went from January to about May with pulling it all together and doing character designs and pencils and inks and getting the colors and everything done for May 15th, which is when we released it at the Motor City Comic Con in Detroit. So. Yeah, a fun process. What was so cool about it is that all the artists, I feel, really brought their A game and were kind of competing with each other, almost like their own dysfunctional family.
Trying to one-up each other?
Yeah, trying to make each other look bad. And if artists are trying to make each other look bad, it makes me look good.
Yeah. Everybody wins.
Oh, it's so artistic. It's like, yes, I claim full responsibility for the artwork of Sean Seal.
Casey, what are you going to say?
I was gonna put him on the spot. Greg, what's your favorite artist in the book?
What's my favorite artist in the book? Oh,
no softball answers. Don't you dare say all of them. You liar. You lying son of a bitch.
My favorite artist is actually one who doesn't even work on the book. No, it honestly varies depending on what I'm in the mood for. Joe's horror section is really kind of like a horror comedy, goofy side, and but I'll give you that I agree with you, Casey, that the black and white with the color is so striking and so distinctive. It's hard to not have your eye go right there. But I'm gonna now that I said that, I'm gonna turn to one page that I feel is worth the price of admission alone in the sci-fi section. Mm-hmm. So you were praising that, Casey. I don't think that's even gonna show up. But anyhow, in one page you get Archie Bullet fighting space beetles, people. Zombies, flying saucers, and then he creates a gorilla monster with a skull for a head. And on the previous page is a flying robot. So if that doesn't like poke at the nerd center of your brain, I don't know what can. And
but they basically went through like every like stereotypical old like cheesy like 1950s sci-fi movie on that one page.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm going for. This whole, when he's with the zombies, he's even carrying a shotgun and chainsaw, like Ash from Evil Dead.
Right.
I love all of that stuff. I love that page to death. And if anybody's ever on the fence when I'm like pitching them the book or telling them about the book, I'm like, just take a look at this, and they're like, okay, all right, let me get my wallet, you know.
Yeah. Just
Sounds like you should be writing the next Fantastic Four, Greg.
Oh man, I would love to write Fantastic Four. I love Fantastic Four, and in fact, bullets are kind of based on the Fantastic Four because you've got you've got the big hulking noir hard-boiled criminal who's kind of like the Thing. You've got Archie Bullet, the scientist, who's like Mr. Fantastic. You've got the monster hunter who is in charge of like the supernatural world, which is the invisible world of like the Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
And you've got the Spitfire character who is the youngest and the cockiest. And she never says flame on, but she's kind of like the Human Torch. She's got flaming hair, maybe. I don't know.
Holy shit, Greg. I think we got something here. In fact, if you make Johnny Storm a woman, we could really make this happen.
Yeah, like Johnny with an IE, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
You go. Like Tony. Johnny with an I love it. I think we just made a better Fantastic Four movie than that one that's coming out. I'm sorry.
Well, from what I hear, it's so dour, and I haven't seen it, but the Fantastic Four, if anything, it's about this really neon-colored, poppy, escapist, fun, fast-paced thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need the Batman treatment. Batman does a fine job being Batman, but other stuff doesn't need to try to be like Batman. That's my take on it.
I keep saying, just make a Swiss Family Robinson in space. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like, why is
I'm
it so
with you.
hard?
That's not hard. They can travel around, encounter all kinds of kooky stuff.
Right. With their cool powers and stuff. Their cool magical powers.
Yeah,
So-
it's like, how do you screw that up? Here's a guy who stretches and a guy who's made out of rock.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been following this because I'm so fascinated by this whole story and Josh Trank and all this stuff. And he was on Fat Man on Batman, Kevin Smith's like Batman podcast or whatever, and 3 podcasts it took them to tell the story. But basically, he said he was trying to make like a body dysmorphic like horror film. So that's why you're getting this kind of Cronenberg-esque like movie. It's supposed to be like The Fly. That's what it's inspired by and all that stuff. But apparently, half of the movie's been reshot at this point.
Right,
So
right.
like the first half is like his, and the second half is like Simon Kinberg's movie. So they don't fit very well together. And so he actually, before we started this podcast, he put out a tweet. He's now since deleted. It was up for about 5 minutes, basically saying like a year ago I had a vision for a movie and that got fucked up, and that is not. This is not the movie I put out like I wanted to make. So that tweet is now gone, but I swear to God it was there.
I saw it. I saw
yeah.
it too.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Back to Greg.
No,
You should be ready.
I'm with you. That how do you make a Cronenberg-esque body horror with it not being rated R? I mean, then it's just kind of like, ooh, I stepped in something yucky. I mean, it's just kind of goofy.
Yeah,
But
it's weird.
how do you even do that? I mean, like The Fly is brilliant, but it's gross, and you couldn't have it be PG or PG-13 or anything.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's talk about some Fantastic Four later. But Greg,
Okay.
what I wanted to ask you, Greg, this book has a really awesome, colorful cast of characters. If you could take any one of those characters and give them their own book, who would it be?
Oh man, I love them all like a parent.
Yeah.
But I've even talked about this with Steve Sharr, who did the Archie Bullet section.
Right.
He and I are both like, oh man, Archie Bullet would kill in his own book, where he's just doing kind of the whole fear agent, black science kind of a thing, with it's just like, old ray guns and just two-fisted action and all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and this arrogant sort of man-child genius at the center of it all, jumping dimensions and hopping through space and time and everything.
Yes.
Oh man! But that said, I would take each of these characters, and I could easily spin out longer stories with them. They're all so much fun to write.
Yes. You should do an anthology book of the whole family, each with their own book in there.
Oh man, I want to do that. That's actually the original idea that I had for this was they'd each get their own issue leading up to a 5th issue where they all kind of come together.
Yeah.
And then the Michigan Comics Collective was like, we're going to do some one-shots. And I'm like, how long can they be? And they're like, 35 pages. I'm like, I think I can cut this down to 35 pages.
I can squeeze it. I can squeeze it into 35.
Squeeze it, yeah. I'm sure I didn't lose anything important, right?
Very cool, man. So tell us a little bit more about your next project.
Well, I'm hoping that pretty soon we'll be able to talk about Monstrous, which I'm working on with an artist out of Las Vegas. His name is Ken Lamug. His agent is shopping that around, and it's kind of like it's set in Frankenstein's Bavaria, which is like the Wild West. It's monsters, it's steam-powered robots, it's all the famous characters, like werewolves and mummies and zombies and stuff like that. But they're all sort of on the periphery. The main characters are these monsters and people and robots that you've never heard of, but they were created by Frankenstein or by Frankenstein's monster. And we have 4 of those stories that we're working on. He's working on the 4th one right now. And they're all separate, self-contained stories that I brought those to the Motor City Comic Con, and I had like 200 copies, and I sold out before the end of Sunday. So clearly, people are like excited about it and want to get their hands on it.
I was gonna say, if all you had to say was boobs in part of that sentence, then my 16-year-old self would be very excited.
Footnote: boobs. So
yes, there we go.
Monster.
Excitement.
Steampunk. Boobs.
Exactly. Right?
Winning.
And I'm working on another project called Last Monster Standing with Eric Reichenbach, which is basically giant monsters invading Tokyo and then getting their own reality show. So,
yeah. Craig, I'm starting to see a theme here with your work. I'm assuming you have a thing for monsters. Maybe.
Monsters to me are like the perfect thing for comics. I love Hellboy, I love BPRD, I love all the monster stuff because I feel like monsters, like the Thing. I think the Thing is more relatable as a monster than he is as a superhero because superheroes, if you think about it, are kind of like the jocks of their world, and the villains are all kind of like the nerds, except that they never get ahead and they never win. But monsters are just sort of like these outcasts who never sort of fit in, and I feel like that speaks a lot more to the stereotypical basement-dwelling comic book fan where it's like, nobody understands me. It's like, well, yeah, monsters work perfect. I feel like that's why the Hulk works better, and Spider-Man works best when he's a social outcast and everything. So, I'm down with monsters. I'm admitting it.
What was your favorite monster growing up as a kid, Greg?
Oh, man, I don't know. Honestly, I'm going to say an odd choice. I love Frankenstein, I love Dracula, all those kinds of things. But I was fascinated with the Blob because, the Blob has no face, no personality. It wants nothing. It just consumes, and it's like there's something that's really terrifying about that because it's like, what do you do?
There's no humanity to it.
Except for the fact that it's the easiest monster to escape ever. How did
you can run away for only so long. It's like zombies. They'll get you eventually. You got to figure out something.
Yeah, until cars are invented, then we're actually bicycles. It was a problem before the 1800s.
Here, Casey.
The Blob was always scary in the 1600s. After that, it was
cover the whole world.
Yeah, that's the end game for the Blob. The Blob is like, I'll just get everything.
Yes.
Man,
Galactus just sneezed.
Yeah, exactly. It's Galactus snot. You can't do anything about it.
Back to Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four 2, the Galactus flu. Oh my God, it writes itself!
I'm like, Casey, you just came up with the next movie.
That's great. I love that Fantastic Four 2, Galactus flu. That sounds like Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. I love that.
The Galactus flu. Casey, here's what you need to do. You take some of the daughter's money. You write a script. You pitch it to Fox. Because apparently they'll take anything right now.
It's all about snot. So.
Yes.
If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I'm going to send a Blob your way, and we'll see what you do.
Yes.
I'll just take a brisk walk.
You can't walk forever.
I can walk to the bus station.
A brisk walk.
Frankenstein is cool, but what do you just it's the same thing, or zombies.
If Frankenstein comes, I'm just going to throw my wife at him because he doesn't kill anything pretty.
Yes.
There you go.
And zombies, I don't got nothing for you there because they're just scary. Zombies are genuinely scary. Yeah. Getting a cold and then waking up one day and killing my family is frightening to me, genuinely.
Gosh.
What if you wake up and you're a Blob? That's.
Ooh, I'd be very disappointed that I lost my manhood. That'd probably be the first thing that came to mind.
Who do you consume first, Casey, when you become the Blob?
Probably. Who do I consume first?
I think the only proper answer for this is your mom.
Yes,
Whoa.
right. Coming
That's
in with
blob
the blob
cest.
joke.
That's blob cest. I'm not going for
Blob
that.
cest.
I don't know, man. Maybe the Jello factory, just so I can increase my mass immediately.
Yes.
And then we go straight for probably my job.
Yes, you can consume it all.
Yep. And then the world, of course.
That's where the blob's headed.
I wish I could just transform into the blob, the next time I get a bad tipper and just consume them first.
Yes, exactly.
Start from there. Just, all must die. Hi, Ashley!
Hello.
Ladies
Hey,
and gentlemen, Ashley Danger has joined us this evening. Hello.
Our podcast just got a lot prettier.
And,
Aww.
Ash, what you been up to?
One of my friend's cars died outside my house, and I had to actually go jump the car.
Like you jumped over it? Sorry, that's bad. Well, it's good to see you, friend.
It's good to see you all, too.
We're chatting it up with Mr. Greg Wright about being a blob right now.
Hello.
I see. I'm like, what is this conversation that I just walked in the middle of?
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep the blob representation on this show. I'm a little shiny. I'm a little blob-like. I can't help it.
Where's our Blob remake, by the way?
Yeah.
And how does that movie work out? Like, I just don't see that being scary anymore. Like, no one is scared of a slow-moving pink object. Oh, wait a second. I just understand. The Blob is an algorithm for virginity. That's what this is all about.
Oh.
Okay,
It's the
I
big
understand it
elephant
now.
in the room.
Yep.
The Illuminati's coming for you. You've cracked the conspiracy. They're on their way to your door right now.
What if when the blob touches a human being, it can possess them and use the human body to do stuff? That would be scary.
Yeah, that's like Body Snatchers. That's also, I think, a very scary movie.
That movie scared me as a child. It definitely did.
All of them are good.
I wanted to get snatched. That's why it didn't scare me. I was like, God, please, someone take me away from this hell. Oh.
Somebody body snatch me.
Well,
I swear to God,
it.
one of the things I would always wish for, like I was an idiot, ask for Santa Claus for Halloween. See, I'm an idiot again. For Christmas.
Hey, Santa brings me cool stuff on Halloween, too.
Wolverine claws, always ask for Wolverine claws, and to be abducted by aliens. Like, every year, I was just like, please, God, let this be the year that I get abducted by aliens and taken away from this awful, awful place.
Did you see fire in the sky and you were like, oh my God, this could really happen?
Yeah.
I would just go out and just lay in my backyard and just pray.
In the woods,
pray.
in the forest, just
just get the brightest flashlight I can, just click it on and off 1,000 times, just hoping, some alien race would just see my desperate pleas for.
I've had to have said something to somebody by now.
Please get me out of this mediocrity of life.
I'm feeling a lot better about my childhood now, I gotta tell you.
Greg, was Wild Bullets based off of your family at Thanksgiving?
Yes, they were. My mother was a masked cowgirl, and my father was a retired military. No, not really. Not really. But that dynamic, though, I think is always there, that Thanksgiving is like the dysfunctional holiday where people get together and, they don't always want to see each other, and they wind up talking about politics that they don't want to, or somebody's life choice or whatever, and grandma has too many Manhattans, and then, starts whooping it up and everything.
Yeah. See, back in the day at Thanksgiving in my house when we had big family get-togethers, all the adult males would go out in the garage and watch football and drink. We were never allowed out there as kids. And I always remember thinking, God, one day I'm going to be able to go out there in the garage. And you know what? Of course, when I was old enough, they stopped doing that.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're too old to be in the garage now?
Apparently. It's too cold in there.
You know what I do at Thanksgiving?
Tell me.
Complain about how much I hate Thanksgiving food. I fucking hate it.
Oh man, I could eat Thanksgiving probably every day. I'm down with that. Some people are like, oh, I hate cranberry sauce. I'm like, you could just drizzle that on whatever. Toast, cereal, I don't care.
Turkey is the worst. In fact,
Turkey's the worst.
we were at Subway. Hold on. Me and my daughter were at Subway the other day, and she looked at me and she goes, "Dad, I want a turkey sandwich." And I almost backhanded her right there in the store.
You're all, no.
No,
No.
but never hit my child. I can't bruise her face.
Yes,
Aw.
hey, that's the moneymaker, dude. Come on now.
Oh my God. I'm gonna get a call tomorrow from child services.
Yeah.
We heard a podcast where you
You're exploiting your child, sir.
exploiting and beating your child at a Subway.
Terrible. At a Subway of all places. That's terrible, man.
Yeah, I'm not touching that with a 6-inch or a foot long. I'm not just.
Oh!
That was clever.
That's killer, Greg. Greg, this yeah, we definitely need to throw some of those jokes in that crime noir book you're gonna write.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
That needs to happen, man. Greg, what if we could? If you could write any comic book, write for any book, write for any character, who would it be?
I always say a different answer to this, and
Yes.
I think what I'm going to say now is I'd like to actually write a team-up book between Daredevil and Hulk, because Hulk gets like this tunnel vision and Daredevil has no vision himself, so I feel like you could kind of play off of that dynamic. Plus, the two of them together looks like Christmas. I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
there's a lot of directions you could go with it.
I like it.
I thought you were gonna say the Blob and the tortoise from the hare.
Blob versus Tortoise.
Slowest team up ever. Versus the Flash.
Now, are we talking like a genetically altered, like 100-foot tortoise kind of thing? Versus,
Sure, whatever. Yeah, maybe Godzilla. Godzilla and the Blob team up.
Yes.
Whatever's slow. I was just trying to think of another slow moving thing. Not a lot of slow moving things out there.
The creeper.
Oh, there you go.
That's
And I feel like just to get the mashup all complete, we could have like a Sharknado come in and wipe everything out.
I think we have something here. Casey, that needs to be our next GWW project. Let's write this book with Greg. Let's do it.
I'm always tempted to add a Sharknado to everything.
Greg, you should pitch Archie versus the Blob, because they will do anything at this point.
Yes, they will. They will.
Yes.
In fact, I may be able to
attack the malt shop. That would be great. They're like, whoa.
I think I can put you in touch with the right people. I mean, I have John Goldwater's email, so we can make this happen tomorrow.
I would write the hell out of an Archie versus the Blob story. Yeah. Yeah, Jughead tries to eat it. This would be great.
Oh my gosh, it writes itself.
It's killer, man. Greg, tell our listeners where they can find you and where they can find your awesome book, Wild Bullets.
Awesome. Okay, so you can come to the Michigan Comics Collective's website, which is just michigancomicscollective.org, or the website for Wild Bullets itself is wildbullets.blogspot.com. Yes. And you can pick up a digital copy at Drive-Thru Comics. Yes. You just search for Wild Bullets. We've actually got a special that's going on right now that if you buy Wild Bullets for $1.99, you can also get the first anthology of the Michigan Comics Collective for free. So that's like over 200 pages of comics for about $2. So, yeah. And what were you really going to do with $2 anyhow? Seriously.
Right.
I mean, your mother wants you to buy it, right? So I don't know. I feel like I should call my mother.
And if you pre-order Blob vs. Archie now, I'll throw in a Walmart bathroom selfie. So look forward to that.
I'm gonna pre-order it like 6 times.
That's my favorite BuzzFeed article. Terrible bathroom selfies at Walmart. Really? Whose job is it to gather these pictures together?
They're like, nope, that one wasn't taken at Walmart. No, that looks like Arby's. Nope, can't do that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How many Walmart bathrooms do you have to be in to be able to distinguish?
A lot, apparently. Hey, Greg, real quick, how's the book doing since it's been released?
Oh, really good. A lot of people said a lot of favorable things about it, including the review. The review you guys threw out. Getting a lot of really positive buzz. People are excited about it. And I forgot. You can also, if people want to, there's a Facebook page for Michigan Comics Collective, and I'm on Twitter under Greg Henchman. So that's the Twitter handle, Greg Henchman. If people, want to, get at me on Twitter. And
Nobody uses Twitter. The dead
Yeah, I know.
technology.
Make depressing jokes.
No one on
Dead
there.
platform.
It's like MySpace.
Yeah, exactly. You can look forward to at least 20 blob-related tweets in the future. Just returning to the well of this conversation constantly.
You can find Greg at fax machine number 559 553.
Awesome, Greg. Thank you, man. You gonna stick around and talk some news with us and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can bash some more on some Fantastic Four. Let's switch up gears, kids, and let's talk about our week in Geek. Mr. Walsh, why don't I have you go first today?
No, Ashley go first because we've been talking for half an hour and she just now got here and she hasn't been on for 2 weeks because we missed her dearly.
Yes.
So Ashley, where the hell have you been up to? Where have you been? And what have you been reading?
Yes.
Go.
Okay. So I actually was in California for like a couple of days.
What? Sorry, you didn't hit me up. What's going on here?
That was one of the Thursdays I wasn't able to be on. And so what I read, actually, I've been sticking with Jupiter's Circle, and I actually am growing to really, really like it, because I think, for me, it's just kind of like, I don't know if you guys, have any of you read Jupiter's Circle yet or no?
Negative.
No, I read the other one. Shit, what's the other one called? Not Jupiter's Ascending, that was the Wachowski movie. No, wait, there's two. There's Jupiter's Circle, Jupiter is another one. There's two of them, right?
I think it's Jupiter's Children.
No, that's wrong.
No?
Damn it. Jupiter's Circle and Jupiter's Legacy?
Okay.
Is that it? I think that's it.
I think you're right.
I read Jupiter's Legacy, which is the story after Jupiter's Circle. Because Jupiter's Circle is the sequel, right? Yes.
And
I'm correct.
I just think it's kind of cool because they're like following like middle-aged superheroes and like their like drama that they're having in their individual lives. So I think it was, number 5? I think that's the one I read this week. Yeah, number 5. And it was pretty. You know what I realized? It seems like in the last couple of issues that I've read from them, it seems like all the men are having like romantic issues with whatever lady they're with. It seems like all the guys are having love drama. So I don't know. I think maybe it's cool because it's on a different spectrum of what relationship drama normally comes from when it comes from a girl, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then aside from that, I actually read.
Not doing so well with. It said Mark Miller must not be doing so well with the ladies, huh?
I don't know. It seems. I mean, I know in the last issue I read, the guy got into a really bad accident, and then he was in the hospital. And he was like paralyzed. He's going to be paralyzed for the rest of his life. And he was dating a younger girl who was like 6. Well, she wasn't 16. Don't mark me on that. She was a teenager or younger, whatever. She was legal. But he also had a wife, and then once the young girl found out that he was going to be paralyzed like forever, she was like, I can't do this. It's too much for me. And then his wife had to come back and be like, I'll take care of you, babe. And then, yeah, he ends up back at home with his wife.
I so badly want to make an inappropriate Jupiter Ascending joke now.
I like dogs.
Dogs will love you forever.
Oh my god, that movie is so weird. Like, he calls her Jupe at one point. Like, Jupe. Like, your name is Jupiter. Oh, just call me Jupe. My friends call me Jupe. Bitch, nobody calls you Jupe. Yes. Like, that's not someone ever has said to you. Oh my goodness.
Jupey.
Rollerblading werewolves.
And then I actually read a new comic, Dark Corridor. That's issue number 1 by Image Comics. And that one actually, the one thing I can kind of say about that I liked is the imagery is completely different than what I kind of expected when I first started reading it. It's kind of sketchy, like a little, I don't know, it's not really sharp lines or anything. It's really, I don't know, it's a cool take on art or whatever. Different.
Like you held your wall extra coats when you were reading it? That's kind of sketchy, or?
I felt like it was shaking as I was reading it.
Gotcha. Did it look like that video by Aha, Take On Me?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It all starts with a guy who finds a bloody dog on his porch.
Oh, nope, done. I'm already out.
And he wants to go find its owner.
Can't do it. No dead
It's a
dogs
book
for
like
me.
that. I mean,
The
how
dog
how is
wasn't
it
dead,
not
the dog was
fine?
bloody.
Bloody, dead, same thing. So,
And then
yeah.
he finds out that the dog was actually, the household that the dog came from actually belonged to like two hitmen, like a hit guy and a hit girl, and they killed each other, I guess, over joint custody of the dog.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
it's like a John Wick situation. Gotcha.
yeah.
The art is crazy looking. It's like it's very strange.
That's
It's
what I
like
was saying. Like it's weird, but it's cool. Like as you read it, you get comfortable reading it, and it makes sense. I don't know. Different.
It's like a dirty Archie comic. Like
It's like the whole comic. The whole comic is like Pigpen from Peanuts.
no, like dirty like a crack whore drew it, but a good like if she was talented at art, you know what I mean?
Talented crack horse.
I sound like a monster.
Yeah. If you
yeah.
review this, you're gonna have to say how many vials it would get from you.
Yeah. But it's good. Like it's very unique.
It is
And the
unique.
noses are weird.
It's
Yes.
a hard way to put it because I don't want to call it weird, like in a bad way, because I actually enjoyed reading it. But it's just something like I've never picked up a comic that looked like that before.
Okay.
They have weird noses. Like, very weird noses. This guy cannot draw noses. Who's the artist on this? Hold on.
It's a conspiracy.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Rich Tomaso. And he does the art and he draws it. Okay, that makes sense now. All right.
He does the art and he draws it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He writes it and draws it. Oh my
That's
God,
how
my
confusing
brain.
it is. That's how confusing it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ashley.
It's
I take
okay.
over.
It's alright.
Go ahead.
And that would be it for this week for me. But I'm trying to think. There was something I read for last week, and then I wasn't able to talk about it. But I can't think about it right now, so you guys go ahead.
All right, if you remember it, you just jump right in because we just
I
missed
will.
you so much.
I'll
and
cut you guys off, no problem.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Someone else has got to be an asshole on this podcast. It's just can't be me all the time. Oh my goodness.
Starting to get comfortable now.
Don't get comfortable. Keep you on your toes. Is it my turn now? Can I talk
Yes,
again?
sir. Yes,
All right.
please.
What did I read this week? You know what I read that I can finally talk about that I fucking love to death?
Hold on. Let's talk about it together because that's
Okay,
like one of the only
together.
two things I read.
Let's Eiffel Tower this bitch, and that is a sexual reference. If you're not aware, look it up. Paybacks #1. Will, are you still there? Did I lose you? I feel like I lost you. You're frozen in time. Okay, I think we lost Will. Paybacks #1. Fantastic book. From the mind of Donny Katz and Elliot Rowell, maybe. Oh yeah, Will just lost power. So hopefully Will comes back. Will's gonna jump back on in a second. It's Elliot Rowell. He's a comedian. Anyways, I describe it as perfectly hilarious. It is a like superhero satirical comedy, wherein the world that they built, superheroes have to pay to be superheroes. So like you have to go out and buy like your armor and your powers and your gadgets and all this stuff. So you have to go out and purchase them from a guy. And basically, if you can't pay your bills, then the superhero repo men come and take your shit back. You have to pay. You have to like work off your debt for this like mysterious guy. So like Johnny did a really good job of creating this world that's basically full of like superhero like allegories for modern superheroes. So like there's a guy called Blood Pouch, and he's like a like 90s, like the perfect 90s character with like all the pouches and like the weird helmet, and like totally just has a costume that makes zero sense at all. There is a guy called Dr. Black, who is one of my favorite characters ever written in comic books, and basically he is like this like dirty hippie like Doctor Strange character, and every time he like shoots his magic, he goes pew 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 and makes like this cool like it's so much fun and so steeped in comic book like history and and legacy, but makes fun of it at the same time. I just loved it to death. I gave it a perfect score. I cannot tell you how much I love it. Now, that being said, Donnie has been on this podcast more than any other creator ever. So I am biased, and I say that in the first two letters of the review. So take that with a grain of salt, and Will say the same thing. But even with that being said, how excited I was and knowing when this book was coming out, I love it to death, and I'm going to read it again before it actually hits shelves because it doesn't come out until October.
Okay.
And luckily, we got an advance look for it. Ashley, you should have it in your inbox. If you don't, I will send it to you.
I'm going to check that out officially now because that's the repo. Anything with repo, man, I love.
There is a character called Night Knight. His name is Night, like the night, like the day and night, and then night, like a knight in shining armor. And his sidekick is a unicorn that talks and wears armor, but he never rides. So, like, it's just this horse that's just with him all the time, and they're like jumping from like building to building together. It's very weird.
So wait, is the unicorn a superhero too?
Well, like to say he had to like buy the unicorn. So like he says at one point, like spoiler alert, he says at one point he's like, you need to get the fuck out of here because they're gonna take you away and you're gonna have to like be stuck in a stable for the rest of your life until I can pay you off. So the unicorn's like, peace out, bitch. Like I'm out. So it's very strange. And Will's back. Will, sorry, I went on the Paybacks rant while the power went out.
That's okay. It's cool. I'm glad. I missed some good stuff though.
So what did you think about the Paybacks, Will?
God, dude, I loved it. I mean, you know how much I loved Buzzkill. So I'm obviously right off the bat, I'm excited to get anything from that universe. You know, especially we got some more Dr. Black. But really cool. You know, looking at the other side of that whole universe. You know, obviously, you know, superhero repo. I mean, what could be more awesome than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love. There's also another thing. Like I said, it's just stooped and nerd like culture. Their van is essentially like the Doctor Who TARDIS. Yeah,
it's TARDIS.
It's so cool. And Jeff Shaw, who does the art, he did the art on Buzzkill. And Will, I think you can agree with me. And I think Jeff would agree with me too. It's not an insult in any way,
right.
But his art on this book went from 10 to fucking 15.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It is so much better than Buzzkill. And
Right.
Buzzkill was amazing, but this art, like, it's so polished and so sheeny, and the effects on it are so nice, and every panel is just filled to the brim with, like, with inky, arty goodness.
Yes.
I'm a writer, folks. And so... I mean, I love it. I just love it to death, and we'll have Donnie and Elliot back on real soon, and we can gush over them. But it comes out in October. I don't remember the exact date. Our review's on the site now. The embargo lifted today, so check it out. I really recommend looking into.
Fun. It's so fun. It's so good. It's a lot.
It's really, like I said, it's really a perfect comic book. And if you're a comic book fan, like if you like you're like me and Greg and Will and Ashley, you've been reading these characters and these archetypes for so long, it puts like this awesome spin on these archetypes you never would have thought of before. And they're characters we all have seen before, but they're just done in the most outrageous, hilarious fashion.
Yeah.
It's great. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. What else did I reach? Did I even know? Your typical stuff, I think. The Humans #7 came out this week. So if you're not reading The Humans, we talk about it all the time on the podcast. It's about a biker gang in Bakersfield, but they're all apes. I will warn you, once again, this is the second time in a week that we've had a comic book with hardcore penetrative sex in it.
Wow.
In fact, The Humans is straight up pornographic. Like, pornographic. And
So
this
you would
is,
suggest that for like night reading?
night reading in your room by yourself, probably not good for the bus or
Don't read it on the flight.
public transportation. Probably avoid that completely.
No, I think
It
it's a
is-
good idea. You get the seat to yourself then.
Yeah. It is a giant splash page of penetration, monkey on monkey sex. It's very, very like graphic. But
They
at the
talk
same
dirty
time,
to each other?
huh?
Do they talk dirty to each other?
No, but it's very weird. 'Cause at the same time, like there's like a massacre happening. So like there's a massacre happening in a bar as these two people are having sex, and it's overlaid like a movie, like a 80s action movie would do, where the massacre is happening and you're cutting back and forth between the two. So it's very it's very artistic and it works, but it is like graphic, like
Right.
like oh man, like that is not, you cannot find this book on iTunes, folks. It's not going to be, Apple will not carry it. I can promise you that. So Fair warning, but the Humans is a fantastic, fantastic book. Once again, something very unique. You're not going to find anything like it on the shelves. I really recommend picking it up, especially if you're an old man and a fan like me of like the 70s and like old school like biker like gang like flicks. Like if you liked Easy Rider, fucking you'll love The Humans. Like that is a book for you. What else did I read? I know there was other stuff. It must have been not that good. Oh, We Stand on Guard. Once again, We Stand on Guard is a book from Image. It's from writer, I want to say, I think it's Kieran Gillian. I could be totally wrong, though. Hold on, let me pull it up here. And We Stand on Guard is basically about if Canada and America got in a war and America won, and now Canada is like this kind of like fascist state where America like rules over them like an empire. And so like there's this band of like insurgents now who are trying to like take down like the U.S. government. Oh, I'm sorry. It's written by Brian K. Vaughan. My bad. I should have known that. But it's super interesting, super violent. It's kind of cool to see America as the bad guys because I think living in America, we have this weird perception of ourselves as always being the good guys. And in this book, we are not the fucking good guys. Like, we are bad people. So it's very cool to see that. It's very weird to see Canada, like, on the offensive and, like, killing people and taking down mechanized robots and all this weird stuff. It's a lot of fun. I really like it. It's very high drama. So pick it up. If you're a fan of Brian K. Vaughan and Saga and all that stuff, of course you're going to love We Stand on Guard.
Yeah.
And the last book, once again, a highly controversial pick, something that is in the news a lot nowadays, Airboy from James Robinson. Another book I just adore immensely. Any writer that's willing to kind of put their heart out on the page and leave everything on the table like James Robinson is doing in Airboy. Like, this guy has no fucking fear and is basically telling you his life story and how big of a fuck-up he is through an amazing, fun maybe is not the right word. An amazing, well-written kind of art character piece on like the troubled artist. It's really really good. It's very imagey. And once again, a lot of sex, a lot of drinking, drugs, not for the kiddies. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Not a lot of mainstream stuff this week, basically because I just been busy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, myself, I read Paybacks, and then the only other book I read this week, well, because our comic shop didn't get Darth Vader on Wednesday, which I was kind of pissed about, but whatever. But anyways, other book I read, which is a super fun, wild ride of murder mystery whodunit on Thanksgiving, was Wild Bullets. You need to check it out. It's an amazing, fun, just super great action-packed good time. So check it out, Greg.
Never heard of it. Tell me about this book, Will.
Yeah, no, I've heard the book is good, but the writer I hear is just a real bag of slime, is what I've heard. He's obsessed with the Blob and everything.
Handsome asshole. Just handsome asshole.
Yes. But yeah, that was it. I got a new Black Widow figure, which I was excited about. That was the only other geeky thing I did this week. Greg, what are you reading right now, man?
I tend to read a lot of older stuff. Like this week, I reread Dan Slott's Amazing Spider-Man Dying Wish.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot the first time, but going back to it, I'm like, wow, this is really a clever structure. I don't know, for whatever the sake of argument is, and also, I've been rereading a lot of the old Spirit comics by Will Eisner, which have a huge influence on Wild Bullets. I love those. Those are so much fun and fast-paced. And in Wild Bullets, they got the 8-page sections for each of the characters, but the amazing things that Will Eisner could do with 7-page stories, with the first page almost always being like a title page. So he's telling these really powerful, impactful, funny, brilliant stories, basically in 6 pages, 7 if you count the title page, but lots and lots of fun, and a hugely underrated comic. Not enough people have read it. I know it's old, it's like Golden Age, whatever, but you wouldn't know it to read it. I mean, it feels very contemporary.
Yeah, Frank Miller really fucked that one up.
Oh man,
when he put out that movie, man, because I think that really soured a lot of people. Like, number one, who is this character? And number two, this movie is bad.
Yeah,
like really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, let's try to make it into this weird psychosexual thing that's like Sin City, but it's not. And
Yeah.
oh, yeah, not a fan of the movie, but the books are sort of unimpeachable. I mean, there's some weird throwbacks to different things, related to racism and sexism, but still, I think it's worth the read, even with that thing that would kind of pull modern audiences out of it. It's still, I think, worth checking out, and actually progressive on both of those fronts in its own kind of weird way.
Yeah. Gotcha. Cool. I definitely want to check out the Spirit more because, like I said, I was interested in the character, but the movie wasn't that great. So, it's,
I was always more of a Shadow guy myself.
oh,
Really,
Yeah.
really love that Alec Baldwin. That guy can hold a scene. I can tell you what.
They both wear hats. That's they have that in common.
Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. Great. You want to talk a couple news things real quick, Casey?
Nothing really happened, so I think we can just fucking skip that part altogether. It's pretty much slow news week this week.
Yeah. What did everybody think about the Deadpool trailer?
I loved it. Yes.
I mean, obviously that was a lot of the footage that they had at Comic-Con this year, but I mean, now the rest of us get to see it, not bootleg. So, anything in there that anybody's really excited to see besides the movie in general?
I'm really excited that it's going to be violent with lots of swearing and adult humor.
Yes.
When they first said we're going to make a Deadpool movie, I was like, oh no, and then they were like, yeah, it's going to be PG-13. I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yes.
And then this is going to be big, dumb fun, and I'm looking forward to it. And again, my inner seventh grader is probably like, yes, this is going to be the coolest thing ever. I talk like that in seventh grade, by the way.
That's
just
awesome,
dude.
dude.
I was doing an impression of myself.
Yep.
Ashley, what are your thoughts? What were your thoughts on it?
I'm happy that they kept the character close to who he's supposed to be. Like Deadpool is Deadpool, and I love the fact that I don't know. I feel like there's so much that's happening. I'm just excited about it, and I'm happy that they did allow him to curse and it's definitely going to be blood, and it's not PG-13. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I don't, however, think that they're going to ever do a crossover with the Avengers because we just had a conversation about that earlier, a couple of days ago after I saw it. Because they are not going to allow that much cursing and swearing in Avengers ever.
No, it won't.
Even
I mean, they can't do a crossover with the Avengers anyway because they're two different studios, and Fox is not going to play nice with Marvel ever
Yeah.
to make that happen. But they will do a crossover with X-Men. There's two X-Men that are actually in Deadpool as characters. So I do think that he would show up in a X-Men movie at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, but it's you know what it is for me? After seeing Deadpool before when they tried to bring him into the X-Men, it kind of ruined it for me with that.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't, I mean, the fighting was there, but it wasn't like Deadpool. It wasn't the real Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is with this one though, I really think it's gonna be a fucking massive hit. This is gonna be Blade-esque levels of R-rated comic book movie blockbuster dumb.
Yeah.
And once they see how much money this fool can make, they're gonna shove his ass in everything. He's gonna show up everywhere.
Yeah.
I know they want, and we can probably talk about this later, maybe not. But Gambit, they want Channing Tatum to kind of take over the Wolverine role. I think if Deadpool is successful and they can make him kind of fit in the X-Men world, I think he would actually be a better transition to kind of merge those worlds. Because Gambit is popular only because of the 90s cartoon. That's the only reason anyone knows that guy's name.
Yeah.
Only reason! So, I think Deadpool, like I said, and Ryan Reynolds maybe doesn't have the same cachet Channing Tatum does, and he is wearing a mask at the same time, but I really think that movie is going to fucking just crush it.
Oh, yeah.
And I really think it's going to restore a lot of faith in the character and that X-Men franchise as a whole and allow them to kind of branch out. Because I think the other problem is, too, that they were planning to cross Fantastic Four and X-Men, and I don't think after this weekend, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. So they're going to have to figure out a way to keep this X-Men world alive and kicking, and they're going to have to bring in the popular characters and keep them popular.
Yeah, for sure. You know what my favorite line in that trailer was? When he's talking to that other guy and he says, You literally look like Freddy Krueger fucked a topographical map of Utah.
Yeah, or an avocado had sex with an older avocado.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He could just riff on Deadpool's face for a
Yes.
half hour, and that would be worth it to have it in the movie, right?
Yeah. Awesome.
I think the great thing about that movie too, though, is like there's not a ton of bankable stars in it.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it shows like number one, if it's gonna be easy for them to make money, so they're not putting a ton of money behind it. So as long as it makes money, it's gonna be a successful movie. And it allows Deadpool to be the main character because nobody cares about Ajax, nobody cares about
Right.
Gina Carano's character, whatever her name is, like Angel Dust. Nobody cares about the recruiter. Like the focus will be on Deadpool and allowing him to be Deadpool. And like those scenes with Blind Al in the apartment where she's like, oh, you sound like you have a dick in your mouth. Oh man, you never think that shit would happen. It's so good. And that the best part of that trailer is where he looks through the hole in his arm, like at the person running away on the motorcycle or whatever. Like that is straight from a Deadpool comic.
Right.
In fact, it would only be better if he stuck the gun through the hole.
Yeah.
Shot.
Start shooting.
Yeah. Like that would only like highlight it. And there's two trailers, and the Green Brand trailer actually shows a moment where he's talking to the camera. Like he looks directly at the camera and says something too. So he's also gonna break the fourth wall.
Of course.
So I really think that this movie is gonna fucking murder, and it's gonna be a huge boost for that character. And Rob Liefeld is gonna be laughing all the way to the fucking bank.
Right. My favorite part is when he beats up a whole van full of guys to shoot. That I feel is just cinematic gold right there.
Yeah, that's a great scene. It's a recreated scene from the test footage or whatever that they did. Yeah, so you can see the whole. Yeah, it's great. I think that whole thing is it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know. Definitely excited to see that, but I think that's a good spot to close up shop, guys. So why don't we go through a final thought real quick? Ashley, what do you got for us this week?
Final thought. I actually watched a new. Well, actually, let me start with one thing because most people are going to be surprised by this. But I actually just started watching Breaking Bad for the first time today, and I'm kind of upset. I'm just now seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
But I love it. I think it's fun so far. But I started watching a new anime called Red Data Girl on Netflix, and it so far is very good. So if you are into anime and you want to check out something new, that's definitely worth it. I don't know if you guys talked about oh god, word vomit. It's not coming out. Titan, it. Somebody, nobody.
Who? What?
Titan.
Attack on Titan?
The word is. Wait, what is it?
Attack on Titan?
Yeah. Live movie that's coming out.
Yes.
And also the new Dragon Ball Z movie is out.
Okay.
If you guys haven't seen that.
No.
No? Nobody?
No.
I was like,
no.
All right.
I actually thought that the name of that show was Dragon Balls.
No, sir. Not Dragon Balls. Dragon Ball Z.
The hand gesture really covers that for me.
Yes, well, Dragon Ball Z. It's too bad you're all missing this. I think we're listening. Awesome.
And if you're not already following me, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Ashley Danger. And
Excellent.
I also just got an Xbox One this week, so you guys can add me on Xbox One too.
Awesome. Well, it's exciting to have you on again, Ashley. We missed your face.
I miss being on too.
Casey, what do you got, man?
Oh my god, I wasn't prepared. Everyone go watch Unreal on Lifetime. I fucking love that show. That's my recommendation for the week. No. Go pick up Wild Bullets.
Yes.
It's a fantastic comic book. It's really 4 stories in one. So you're really getting a bang for your buck with that comic. I really think it's a great value for anyone trying to watch their wallets out there. I know comics biz is expensive business. What else can I recommend? I feel like I should be recommending more things. I don't know. Go fucking read comics, people. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Don't go see the Fantastic Four this weekend. go see Ant-Man again instead.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe Jupiter Ascending. Or maybe go watch The Blob so you can tell Greg how terrible it is. And how easily how bikes have totally saved us from the Blob in every fashion.
It's got Steve McQueen in it. It's got Steve McQueen in it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he drove a car to escape. Great. Yeah, so, the typical rigmarole. Go check out geekswithwives.com. Go check out Greg's comic. Make sure you're following us all on Twitter, at geekswithwives, at GWCapesCrew, at geeksonscreen. I think that was a sneeze from Ashley. I'm not really sure. Maybe call an ambulance over there.
That was the most adorable little sneeze. That was great.
Oh, he's so cute, Ashley.
Actually, most people don't never know what it is.
I was hoping it was a sneeze. She's wearing brown pants, everybody. Calling back to the Deadpool trailer. That's a joke for anyone who saw that. Only 3 million people are going to get it.
Yes.
What else? Go check out our friends at EATMF Podcast. I will be doing their show on Sunday, hopefully, and doing an Ant-Man spoiler thing. I don't know. Go to Geeks with Wives, damn it. Help us pay the bills.
Yes.
We need people going on site and paying my fucking salary, which is nothing.
Good.
I'm done.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Greg Wright, final thought for us tonight?
Well, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to be here again. And yeah, I hope people check out Wild Bullets. I can't promise these kinds of things, but if you read it, it will improve your life in every single way possible.
Excellent.
A man read it in Chicago, and he regrew his hair. He got back together with his wife. And another guy, I gave him a copy. He didn't read it, and he fell down a flight of stairs and broke his neck and the neck of 3 passersby. So
wow,
it's like that's my chain letter recommendation, right? If you read it, good things will happen. If you don't, bad things will happen. It's just the universe adjusting for karma.
Gotcha.
And thank you all again. Thank you very much. It's a lot of fun.
Greg, thank you for being on, man. It's always a pleasure having you. And
everyone go pick up, pre-order Archie versus the Blob next year.
Yes. Excellent. Let's see. My recommendation for the week. Oh, I saw Ex Machina. Anybody else see that movie?
No,
No.
I'm trying to find a night my wife's not home because I'm probably going to end up masturbating to it.
Come on, do it. Wow. Yes. Yes,
Am I?
You probably will. I'll just go ahead and confirm it.
There we go. Confirmed masturbation happening.
That was a really thought-provoking movie that features not one but 2 of the stars from Star Wars Episode 7. Oscar Isaac and Domhnall Gleeson. Is that how you pronounce his name? Domhnall? I don't know. But anyways, a very thought-provoking movie about, I guess you could say, about humanity on a lot of different levels, and different things that makes us human, and where our technology is going, and should we be doing the things that we're doing, and what's going to end up happening if we do these things. Very, very cool movie. Good story, great acting. Check it out if you got a free minute. Other than that, just want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Manoa Crane, who started a podcast as well called Cloud City Cast. You can imagine it's all about Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel. So check them out. They're doing some cool stuff over there. So hats off to fellow podcasters. As always, you can find me on Twitter at Darth Sparrow. Keep checking out geekswithwives.com, and thanks for listening and joining us this Thursday, and we hope to see you again next week. And as always, we'll catch you on the geek side.